if you're ready to spend money in other areas, and maybe not
I
on
like
Cisco
spending money.
and Splunk. Yeah, do you?
No.
We were chatting kind of before we started recording, but we have a rapid private preview to GA for Copilot in Microsoft 365.
Yes, it kind of came out of the blue, and we had some theories about how it kind of came out of the blue, but the other day, right? What day was this one? September 21, same day as Cisco was announced. There was an event in New York where Microsoft announced their vision for Copilot. So we finally now have a release of Copilot, or a release date. So they said, first step, they're unveiling a new visual identity, aka an icon for Copilot. And we're going to start seeing that icon roll out across Copilots that are already there, because there are some Copilots already there, right? Like Power Apps already has some Copilot stuff.
Dynamics,
yep,
they're all
GitHub,
out there and playing around.
But then the Microsoft 365 Copilot, which is the one that everybody seems to be waiting for until they found out they had to spend $30 per user per month on it, is going to be generally available for enterprise customers on November 1. So this does not appear, and I have not found it anywhere in this article, that there is going to be any sort of public preview of Copilot. It is going immediately from that private preview, like you said, straight into general availability on the 1st of November. So you have like 5 or 6 weeks to wait, Scott, and you can get Copilot if your company will pay for it.
It's interesting for this one if you look at how it's being integrated and rolling out, how they're using Copilot in Windows as a potential loss leader to build you into things like Bing Chat and the enterprise variations of it, and then everything else that comes along the way with M365 Copilot, integration with Teams, integration with all the M365 apps, the better together kind of security story around like security compliance, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Copilot in Windows is a little trippy and in your face. If you have a chance, like I'd encourage anybody who didn't see the event. It was kind of this weird mixed hardware and software event kind of thing that happened in New York around Surface devices, and then all these Copilot announcements and all those kinds of things that came along. So yeah, but it does give you a sense for where it's integrating, where it's rolling into Windows, how it's going to start to look and kind of manifest across Office apps and things like that, which we've seen in the past. And then they had another interesting one that they announced, which I think this is nothing but goodness. I don't know how you found learning how to treat LLMs or how to kind of give them better prompts so that they give you your desired output and all those kinds of things. So it turns out that, getting an LLM to give you a desirable output is, a little bit harder than going in and just asking a question and firing and forgetting and seeing what happens. So they also announced Copilot Labs, which is going to be a web-based experience to get hands-on with particularly M365 Copilot, which I get the sense like it's actually like going to need some kind of poking and prodding, given the fixed meta prompt, and maybe if you wanted to go in a slightly different direction, things like that along the way. So they're also going to be actively training users around Copilots. I think that'll be interesting to see how many folks feel like they've all of a sudden had to become programmers and get away from some of their other stuff that's out there and available. So maybe with a little bit of lab time and getting hands-on across the product stack, that stuff starts to manifest and light up, and we can all see what it does.
Yeah, I will be interested to play with that, because it is like the whole meta prompts and all of that is still something I've been learning about, playing with, and by no means an expert in. But that is definitely, I think, the biggest learning curve. People think Copilot's going to come out, AI is here, and you can just start asking it questions, which to some extent you'll be able to. Like Outlook is going to have summarize an email thread for me, or you're going to be able to ask Copilot to rewrite a paragraph, but then you're going to have to think through, how do you want it to rewrite it? What type of voice do you want? You want it neutral, casual, professional? So I think it's going to vary too, and then like there will be basic things you'll be able to do, but I think to really take advantage of it, there is definitely going to be a learning component of how do you tell AI to actually do what you want it to.
There's I've got a little tip for you, just because you mentioned the tone thing.
Yep.
I found tone to be very interesting with all the kind of variations of models that are out there. And I think it's one of the complaints that folks have when they see these models in their outputs is they look at them and they go, oh, well, that sounds kind of generic, or it sounds a little bit like a machine, or it reads like a machine wrote it, kind of thing. So a trick that I've been playing around with, I saw it on a YouTube video, is setting tone by providing examples of your own writing and then having them generated like with that style. So, you're kind of, are you familiar with how you can use variables inside of OpenAI and ChatGPT?
Ooh, I have not done anything with variables yet.
So you can have a variable. So say I wanted to create a variable like for like my writing style. So I create I tell the engine, hey, I want you to store some data about the way that I write inside the variable, Scott _ writing _ style.
Okay.
Whatever it happens to be. And then you say, I'm going to provide you some examples. And then you just say, okay, example 1 of Scott's writing style. And the way I've been doing it is just copying and pasting blog posts that I have out there, or kind of longer form posts that I've had that I think capture my writing style and conversational style, and putting those in. And you say, okay, store these in, that variable, like Scott _ writing _ style. And then once you're done with that and it's got it stored and it understands, you go back and you say, okay, now I want you to do whatever the work is that I want you to do, but I want you to respond using the style that was stored in the previous variable, Scott _ writing style. And then it spits back something that like I'm finding needs a little bit less editing.
Okay.
Both in ChatGPT 3.5, the 3.5 Turbo, and in the 4.0. Although I find myself still sticking to 3.5 Turbo these days as well. I'm not seeing a lot of additive benefit to being on 4.0 yet, but we'll see. I think it's a cool thing. So you should go explore variables if you haven't done that. Like if you've been working on prompts and conversational styles and tonality and things like that, particularly for you, because and maybe for folks who listen to this, like if you ever write like papers, anything like that internally, like something that you can provide to the language model to help it understand like your style, it's a little bit better and nothing but goodness.
Got it. So I'm curious, when you've been using the different models like the 3.5, the 3.5 Turbo, the 4, what have you been using it for? Has it been for summarizing stuff or for generating like net new ideas or rewriting stuff? When do you use those models?
Lots of summarization.
Okay.
And I think that's probably going to be the place that I use Copilot. Should they like broadly roll it out and make it available to everyone at Microsoft? I think that's the place that I would use it the most, particularly in my world where I spend a lot of time in email, Word, and Teams, often talking about and working towards the same kinds of things. Like for me, I think it'll be super powerful to have like a meeting summarization that also incorporates like the document we were discussing as an input to be able to, get to whatever output that I'm kind of looking for along the way. But summarizations are a great place. I don't like using them for answers to questions. Like I'm really, really super scared of the hallucination kind of thing and getting that going. So that's been all good. And then the other place I use it a lot is on the reference side of things, particularly when it comes to like syntax and not coding, but like day-to-day kinds of things. So PowerShell, use it a lot for KQL. And I have a feeling I'm going to use it a whole bunch in Excel as well, like once that rolls out a little bit more, but we shall see.
Got it. So I was curious because I heard the 4.0 model, and I've used GPT-4 for summarizing like podcast transcripts. That 4 tends to do a little bit better with a summarization of that type of content. But I haven't done enough of them yet where I've sat down and actually compared to see what I like better. But I'm with you. I'm probably going to use it for a lot of summarization. I have used it to ask questions for it, but like you, I'm very worried about hallucinations. So when I'm asking for answers, I tend to use the Bing chat for enterprise, because not only does it give me an answer, but then it provides my references. So I treat that as a little bit of summarize your search results for me, is how I look at Bing chat for enterprise, or Bing chat is summarize the answer to my question from what you know and what you can find online. But since it provides my references, I still always go back and check the references it provided to make sure it didn't misinterpret things, or I've seen where it pulls from like 2 or 3 sources and gets them kind of mixed up and comes with an answer based on those 3. But it combined them very poorly, kind of like a kid misinterprets what their parent says or alters a word or two. I have seen Bing chat do something similar. So when I do ask questions, I do it someplace where I can actually go verify the references and leverage it a little bit more as a summarization of a search.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'd be interested to know, like, this is another feedback thing that I'd love to hear from folks out there, just like, where are you using it to use it in similar ways? Or are you finding power in the whole GPT-4 and the ability to have plugins in use and all that kind of thing? Like, I'm really not using any of that stuff today either. So it'd be, I think, interesting to hear some learnings from other folks.